In 1974, the band Steely Dan had released two albums, Can't Buy a Thrill and Countdown to Ecstasy. And they'd had some major hits that charted in their freshman and sophomore recordings. Gaining a following, they were still finding their way in a very competitive and quickly changing music industry. Leading up to that year, they'd been touring as an opening act with Frank Zappa, The Kinks, The Guess Who, Alice Cooper, Boz Scaggs, and even the Beach Boys. These years of gigging were taking a toll. Steely Dan was looking for an album that made them the headliners, and they were interested in making their next album the vehicle to push them up that long climb to the top of the mountain. Walter Becker and Donald Fagen decided to move to L.A. and work with their label in some of the state-of-the-art multi-track recording studios located in California. The two founders of Steely Dan were quickly being recognized as creative writers, well-organized producers, and perfectionists. They used the absolute best studio musicians available, and their sound was always defined as clean, precise, and flawless. The third album this duo produced was called Pretzel Logic, with 11 tracks. At a time when airplay and radio was changing from mono AM to a more sophisticated FM stereo radio format, Steely Dan was finding rock fans, audiophiles, and music buffs who were connecting to their jazz-like chords and unique, smart lyrical content. Pretzel Logic had a definite hit on the record, Ricky Don't Lose That Number. It peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 1974. It was the most successful single of the group's career. On the B-side was a track that soon found its way into radio play on many of the FM stations, who adopted a new format of rotation. It was known as album rock. The song was called Any Major Dude Will Tell You. Although it was not expected to do so, it was getting airplay as well. A pleasant surprise for the band, the label ABC, as well as Steely Dan fans. Steely Dan Frequently Asked Questions author Anthony Robustelli describes Any Major Dude Will Tell You as one of Steely Dan's smoothest songs and an exemplar sample of the 1970s California sound. Both Fagen and Becker were known to have been quite cynical about the music business, the commercialization, and the hit-producing grind that could accompany any band's success. Many of their best hit records are a reflection of the West Coast attitudes towards life, love, pulp culture, etc., as seen through the eyes of two East Coast composers from Bard College, shaking their heads at the West Coast lifestyle. The song entitled Any Major Dude Will Tell You was first inspired by Becker's and Fagen's amusement at people calling each other dude in a veiled attempt to be cool. But that inspiration was not intended to belittle the main voice of the song. Instead, our main character takes the listener into an optimistic approach, providing a soothing dialogue to a dude who's hurting. From the website songmeetings.com, the song is simply about how, even when everything else seems to be falling apart, things always come together again. When he says major dude, a major dude in the California vernacular, would be described as someone who has their act together, who's respected, and who can be considered a mentor. The major dude singing the song starts out with the lines,
I never seen you looking so bad, my funky one. You tell me that your superfine mind has come undone. Any major dude with half a heart surely will tell you, my friend. Any minor world that breaks apart falls together again. When the demon is at your door, in the morning it won't be there no more. Any major dude will tell you. Any major dude will tell you.
Things will get better. What's causing you pain now will eventually subside. That's their message. Your anguish will dissipate. A simple song, a simple lyric, and a totally relatable and universal experience of being human. We all have down times. We all have disappointments. We all have fears. But those who show the poise, patience, and perseverance to overcome our obstacles will find peace in the end. Fagan, providing the vocals on the song, offers the additional reassurance, hey, it's not just me saying this. Any major dude will tell you. We've been there. We know you'll be all right. Steely Dan, often the cynical, sarcastic, and gloating observers, are giving us some light after a dark, dark night in a very cool, calm, and smooth composition. Any major dude will tell you. If you'd like to hear more Steely Dan stories and music, visit therockandrollprofessor.com. Short courses offered in rock, jazz, blues, soul, and more. Check out the link in the description, along with the entire track of Any Major Dude Will Tell You on the B-side, and Ricky Don't Lose That Number on the A-side.